Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel, Mayta. Today I am back with a new story. The name of this story is What If Naruto Was the Son of Orochimaru? And yeah guys, it is an unscripted story. Now before continuing this, shout out is due where it is due. Shout out to Jimmy Decieved for suggesting this idea. Now this may be a no-ship story or maybe a single one, I don't know yet. But who knows, since it's an unscripted story, we'll find out soon. Anyways, before we continue this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. At the time of recording this video, we have reached 685 subscribers. I'm really grateful to all of you. Love you all, guys. But yeah, help me reach 700 subscribers. We're so close. And yeah, once we reach 1000, after hitting that mark, we'll do something special. We'll see. We'll see. And do let me know, have any one of you created any Reddit page, or a Discord server that you can send a link to me so that I and the rest of you guys can join in. Anyways, enough said. Without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Sato on October 10th in nighttime as we go towards the said village to see that it was in a bloody mess, as the strongest Biju Kyubi no Yoko has just descended upon them out of nowhere, and everything has gone to hell since that moment onwards, as the civilians, due to the thrashing of the Biju left and right, have gone and buried themselves under the rubble, while some of them try to escape, but they, due to the rubble falling down, have been killed and squashed. Some of the shinobis tried their best to help out the civilians, and due to that they too perished in front of the Kyubi, while most of the shinobis, under the leadership and guidance of the third Hokage, who had retired and yet had to retake the charge, were fighting at the front lines to stop and hopefully defeat the Biju, and even all of them, with all the powerful shinobian forces and numbers by their side, knew one thing, that they were fighting a lost battle, and were praying for some sort of miracle, and that miracle appeared in the form of Minato no Mikaze, as he alongside Chief Toad from the Toad Summoning Clan appeared there, as the huge Toad Gamabunta charged towards the Biju to change the tides of the battle, but soon it became evident that he was not enough, and they need a new plan if they wanted to defeat the Biju and stop the destruction of the village. And that is when we see Minato was in deep thought and standing still, as Hiruzen, seeing this, arrived next to him. Minato, how in the hell did this happen? And why are you also frozen and shaken up? I know you're not a new shinobi. It's not that. It's just that, Hokage-sama. Tonight I lost a lot of things, and I don't want to lose my home too. I I am thinking of something that is downright bad, and even lowest of the lowest of morals of mine. What are you thinking about? As you know, Orochimaru also had a son today, right? Yes. Since my child and wife died, I don't have a backup plan to seal the Biju in him. What if we use his child? What do you mean by that? Since Orochimaru is a Sanin who has exponential chakra and strength, it is highly evident that his child might also have that. I will use the Hakai seal to seal away the Biju with him. And then you will have to take care of him. But Orochimaru isn't here. As you know, he is on a mission away. His wife is only here. I heard that she perished. What? What do you mean by that? She died after giving birth due to complications. So he's alone right now. Minato, this is not right. That is what I am thinking, Hokage-sama, but we have no other choice. This is all we can do right now. What are you waiting for then, kid? Said another voice, as this was none other than Jiraiya, who appeared there with a child in his hand. Sensei, what are you doing here? And whose child is that? Who else? As their eyes widened. Jiraiya, are you sure about this? Said Hiruzen. I will talk to Orochimaru. He will understand, like he did before. We had no other choice. What choice do we have? Orochimaru is on the verge of defecting after the only things that were holding him back was his pregnant wife. And now that she's gone, it is his only son. And you doing this to him, will, without his permission, is more likely to bring trouble. Minato, don't you think that we could ask other clans for the child? I don't want this to befall on any other. Then why on Orochimaru's child? I don't understand this. We have no other choice. He's the strongest candidate after me. I trust his child enough with the Biju. As after that we see Hiruzen and Jiraiya looked at each other as Jiraiya made assurance to Hiruzen. As now we see, Hiruzen finally gave in, and so the Biju was sealed within Naruto, the child of Orochimaru. And so the great catastrophe was prevented, and the village was once more saved by the death of their Hokage alongside many other people. As now we see, Jiraiya picked up the child and with Hiruzen walked back to the Hokage office. Orochimaru still was a week far away from the village. So a few days passed and the village was back on its track to recovery and everything was seemingly looked settled. Except for the part where Hiruzen revealed that this boy was a Jinchuriki except anything else and brought the wrath upon the poor boy. As now we see, him and Jiraiya were pacing back and forth in his office. What should we do, Sensei? This is not looking good. If Orochimaru finds out what we did, Jiraiya, then he really might leave with the boy. And that is why I think that it would be best if we explain everything to him, Sensei. Don't you think so? I think so too, but the council, they have forbidden us if they find out. They're the council. You're the Hokage. You're right, but they have the daimyo backing them up. Damn it. So what is their proposal? Tell Orochimaru that his child died with his wife. What? Then what will happen to the boy? He will be raised as an orphan. That is the extent of it. Since they're trying to blame Orochimaru with something, Danzo and the other elders, they brought up some evidence that Orochimaru isn't good as we are thinking he is. What do you mean by that? Look at this, Jiraiya. Can you go and confirm this before he returns? As Jiraiya's eyes widened as he saw what was written down on the papers. And with narrowed eyes, he said, I will. As now we see, Orochimaru returned after 1 week worth of time. It was quite long that he was away from a mission and was hoping to return to his wife and their newborn child, their baby boy named Naruto. The name they decided upon since it was his wife's favorite dish. As once he returned back to report back everything to Hiruzen, he noticed that the whole council was there. Because he wasn't summoned in the Hokage office but in the council chamber. What is going on, Sensei? Orochimaru, you are here brought here to be trialed and charged for the crimes, the heinous crimes that you committed against the village. What are you talking about? You have been doing experiments behind our back. And not very humane ones at that. What? I only experimented on animals such as rat and so on. I never did anything that is quite heinous. What are you talking about? You have been experimenting on criminals and humans that you have been capturing and building your army to overthrow Konoha's, dictatorship. What? What are you on about, Sensei? You, as well as everyone here, knows that I'm loyal to the village. I would never do something like that. I just returned from a long time mission, and I can't entertain your BS if you want to talk about something like that. I have to go see my wife and child. About that, said Danzo. Both of them perished a week ago in the QB attack. What? Sorry? As you see, the village was under the QB's attack. I realized that much, Danzo. I heard. What do you mean my wife and child died? As you know, your wife's condition was already weakened because of her weak health. Yes, but she was completely fine. She died due to birthing complexities and, due to lack of, medical staff. And as for your child, he, too, was born with the disease and due to that he perished. No, it can't be. Not until I see it with my own eyes. I will not believe it. I'm afraid they have been buried in unmarked graves alongside the rest who have perished in the Cubit. What? What is the meaning of this, Sensei? I wish to see my wife and child. Even if they're dead, I need to confirm that, said Orochimaru. I'm afraid you can't do that. Right now you are being charged and trialed. Orochimaru, having heard enough, was ready to lash out. But Jiraiya, seeing this, intervened. Stop it, Jiraiya. Stop it, Orochimaru. Get out of my way, Jiraiya. I won't ask nicely next time. Don't make me do this. There's still time for you to redempt yourself. Redempt myself? I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything wrong that would put me on a traitor on bad side of this village. I'm afraid you have. there has been some evidence and has been some of the victims that haven't relieved. What? What do you mean by that? As now we see, some of the people that were brought by Danzo then said it and pointed fingers towards Orochimaru. Hearing this, he had no other choice to avoid arrest but to escape, leaving his home, Konoha, behind. As now we see, after this whole ordeal, a few weeks passed. There was still no sign of Orochimaru, even though they searched through the land of fire borders and beyond, as if he has disappeared. On the other side, their plan has swerved, something that Hiruzen was forever guilty about. But he knew that this was the only way for them to have a Jinchuriki, because it was Minato's decision to leave the charge of being the Jinchuriki to this child. But that was not the end of it, because Naruto's life, the miserable one, was about to begin. Right after he was placed into the orphanage, since he was the son of Orochimaru, because some of the people at least had to know that much, he was already shunned because of his father. And after his 4th birthday, when it was discovered that not only he was the son of Orochimaru, but also the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, he was then threatened by the people. And because of that, the innocent child, who once had innocent in his eyes, began to go cold. And at the age of 6, he was out there surviving on his own in cold wintry nights of October 10th. And not only that, he had mentally grown up to be able to determine if he was in a bad situation or not. And right now he deduced that he was in the worst situation any, kid his age could be possibly in. So he had to do what he could do best, and that was scrapes, just so he could survive. And at that moment, it was Hiruzen who decided that he should bring him in, so that at least he should influence the boy. And once he grows up, he will become loyal to the village. And so Hiruzen brought him in and gave him his own apartment. And he soon began the academy. But at the end of the academy, after 6 years of staying there, one thing was evident. Naruto was a prodigy in his own right, like his father. But he was also like his father too much that he wasn't able to make a single bond with anyone. Not a single person. Whoever tried to overshadow him or mock him in any way, or tried to take their petty revenge, Naruto would point their mistake out and even sometimes lash out, to the point there that even Chunies like Mizuki and even Iruka had to be sent to the hospital because of broken bones and fractures and so on or so not. The conclusion was the boy was lethal, and Danzo was quite happy about that, seeing that a cold shinobi who finally realized his morals, that emotions were a waste of time, and they were not needed. He approached Naruto, and Naruto, with a smirk, agreed, saying that he was going to get the training that he desired. And so, over the course of years, Danzo has been training Naruto, and Naruto has been taking missions under Root Anbu disguise as well, and has rose the ranks of the captain. Secondary to the Anbu Dragon Commander of the Anbu Squadron, Naruto at the age of 13 has reached so far. As now we see, Naruto was sleeping and resting in his apartment because today was the graduation day, and he only had to conduct 3 tests and has enough time. As a voice from within called him, "Wake up, kid. It's time we leave." "Yes, yes, you grumpy old fox. I know that we need to leave." As now we see, Naruto got up and began to prepare himself to leave. It was by some miracle or by sheer amount of luck that Naruto was left behind with the yin, the good side of Kurama or the Kyuubi, while the bad side was consumed and split in half by Minato and sealed within him before he took that bad side with him to the Shinigami. And so Naruto and Kurama, thanks to that, were able to make some sort of a bond. Even if they were not on the friendly terms, they were still neutral and kind of friendish enough so that they could have normal conversation. "So what are you gonna do?" "I don't know." "When are you going to take next mission, kid? Being cooped up in here, it is quite bad. I need some entertainment." "So you enjoy me killing those people or going out there on dangerous mission, risking my life? I mean, that is what you all do, don't you? You ninkins?" "Of course, that is what we all do. Not all of us enjoy what we do." "What do you mean by that?" "I mean, why am I even doing this again and again for them? If it was for me, I would have just went on and did something else altogether, which would have benefited me. If it wasn't for the damn fourth Hokage and his high moral value to steal the Biju away in a child, I wouldn't have ended up here. And not only that, my father. That's the other thing. What do you mean by that? Your father Orochimaru. Even if he exists, he doesn't know about it. Yeah, these people. Thanks to their big mouths, they blurted this out to me. All I wish is I need to locate him down, but he has been way too much cautious. Even that old man, third Hokage, and his student has been out there looking for him for ages, and still no sign of him. I'm just quite weirded out that him being a genius was so easily, well, deceived by them all. I mean, he would have checked. Let me get this straight, kid. He tried. He would have at least. But in the end, they wanted him to be gone there. So they pushed him into a corner. And like any other intellectual person who knew what was a tactical retreat, he retreated back for the time being. I guess you're right. I need to find a way to get away from this hellhole. Either by route or by being a shinobi. You know being a shinobi is only the option here, since the Rutanbu option, it can be dangerous. You're right, I need to make moves against Danzo soon, and I will. As now we see, Naruto wanted a little bit of his own revenge, since, well, he knew that Danzo was one of the reasons that his father was kicked out of this village, so he had to get him and his root in big trouble, and that there was a plan that he needed to follow right now. As now we go to the academy where the teams were assigned, as Naruto was placed in Team 7 with Sasuke Uchiha, the second best in the academy, and finally Sakura Haruno. Sakura was quite happy that she was with Sasuke. Sasuke, to be honest, was quite annoyed that he was with him and her. Him because him was the biggest rival Sasuke has ever had. As that is when their sensei arrived, as it was a mass jonin, as Naruto looked at him, and with a single gaze he ignored him after that. My first expression of you three? Not so much. How about you meet me in the rooftop within 5 minutes. Naruto sunshined with him and appeared on the rooftop instantly, and before him a mere seconds, as even Kakashi was surprised. You're here fast. Years and years worth of training, Kakashi Hatake. As with that, Kakashi rose an eyebrow, but he had this feeling that he was meeting a young Orochimaru face to face. That smile, that walking moment, that gaze, it resembled Orochimaru way too much. As now we see, it took 4 minutes for Sasuke and Sakura to get there, but they arrived, and were shocked to find Naruto there as well. And after that, they had the same meeting, and the next morning they arrived. To find that Sasuke and, well, Sakura didn't eat a single thing. Naruto obviously trash-talked them and, well, talked them into eating stuff. And not only that, due to that and having themselves having some energy, they were able to go head to head with Kakashi, who was going easy on them. But Naruto took it to the next level and made Kakashi fight with full force, without revealing his Sharingan at least, until he had to. Only for a brief second. That was to use Kamui so that he could warp out of there to the other side. As that is when Naruto then said, "My oh my. That was quite nice, Kakashi Hatake. I didn't thought you had it in you." As for a mere moment, Kakashi could visibly see Orochimaru standing there with his sinister smirk instead of saw Naruto. Naruto. What is it? You look like you seen a ghost or something. No, it's fine. Well, I got the bells. Oh, I see, said Kakashi, who was quite shocked to see Naruto had both of the bells. As Sasuke and Sakura stopped as well, as he took each bell apart and then threw it towards the two of them. You can have it. But what about you? You're gonna fail. The whole reason for this test is to test out if we're ready to sacrifice oneself for the other. And since I know this trashy test existed thanks to the almighty fourth Hokage, I knew the basics of it, and now how it was need to be done. As Kakashi didn't take it lightly that his sensei was insulted. What do you mean by that? The Hokage was great man. Yes, you can say that, and live in your own fantasy bubble. But to me, he's a man who turned my life upside down and in literal hell. So forgive me if I detest the man. Not like you can change my mind or anything. And with that, Naruto turned around and said, I'll be waiting for good results, hopefully. If not, then screw this team anyways. I have other things to worry about. With that, Naruto left with a cold attitude. So, did we pass or not? You all pass. But there is something that I need to discuss with Hokage-sama. Kakashi thought to himself, and so he arrived at the Hokage office and explained everything to him. This is not good. I need to contact Jiraiya soon. He needs to come here, and we need to form a plan. Over the course of the last 13 years or so, Naruto hasn't made a single bond with anyone. And now, he is showing more and more personality similar to his father. I'm afraid the day they both meet, it will be the end of Konoha. I know it for sure. Because two minds like Orochimaru, and both of them working on the same side, is quite lethal for Konoha and the whole elemental nation. One was strong enough. Two? No. I'm afraid we, even ourselves, cannot deal with that. So what are we gonna do, Hokage-sama? I'm afraid for the time being, you can only monitor and give me reports. And so for the D-rank missions, and well as the first C-rank mission, Kakashi did that. Naruto was much more brutal while interrogating. And then, when they reached the land of waves, Naruto even ended up killing both Zabuza and Haku, and didn't even allow them to leave. And when Gato arrived, he butchered them all down. While he was dripping down in blood, he looked at them from back, sending chills down Sasuke and both. Well, Sakura's spine. Sasuke was having PTSD, seeing his brother who killed everyone again in Naruto, but much more vicious. He made Itachi look like a saint, killing his clan, what he did to those bunch of people. I'm done here. Can we leave now? I have other things to worry about, you see? And you can build your pathetic village now. But heed my word. Before making any sort of alliances, make 100% sure that you're ready to meet with the consequences because of the greed of these people. As now we see, once the Team 7 returned, they were now given the task to participate into the Chunin exams. Naruto obviously accepted alongside the others, and so they were met into the Chunin exams. And that is when Naruto began to notice something odd about Aganin. After the first part was done, the second part was held by Uncle Mitsuhashi, his father's student, who also believed that he was a traitor, and cursed him, and was glaring at him as well. Naruto obviously didn't give a shit about her, so he was standing here. As that is when Naruto witnessed that Aganin similar to Orochimaru approached. And once the second part began, they were sent to the, forest of death. And the midst of them, their team was attacked by the Genin. And so, Naruto was able to deduce that this person was somewhat off. What do you think, old fox? I think that this person has the same chakra as your father. As Naruto then called out, was well separated from the other two who were close to knocking out. Father? As hearing this word alone froze Orochimaru. As his eyes narrowed, who might you be? I am Naruto. Naruto? What do you mean by that? My son has perished by the hands of Konoha. That is what they wanted you to believe. But in reality they made me the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Since the fourth child had perished, he had no other choice but to use yours, seeing that my mother was already dead. As Orochimaru's eyes narrowed, but he could see the resemblance, the cold gaze, the stature, everything. This boy quite resembled him and his beloved wife. Can I have a blood sample of yours? Take as much as you want, father. To confirm. I'll be waiting here. Waiting for your contact. I see. Here you go, kid. For humoring me. If you really are my child, I promise that I will get you, son. But then if you're lying, then be ready to be in a world of pain altogether. Quite threatening, are you not? I'm sorry, but it has to be done. After everything that has been happened to me in the past, I need to be careful. As now we see, taking the blood sample, Orochimaru left. And so, Naruto returned to the, third part of the exams. That was the preliminary round, since the third part actually had been moved way back. And within the month of time space, we see that instead of, Naruto being trained by Jiraiya, Jiraiya was being taught by Jiraiya taught Sakura, or some other kid, while, Sasuke was taught by Kakashi, leaving Naruto alone since he was the only one that was able to survive the encounter with Orochimaru, who has been deduced to become near As now we see in the Hokage office, both of them, Jiraiya as well as Hiruzen, was pacing back and forth. What should we do? It's finally resurfaced to take revenge. What if both of them make contact, Jiraiya? That won't be allowed to happen. I'm not teaching the kid anything. The kid is already weak as it is, and Orochimaru believes that his child is dead. Win-win for us. You can't be serious. If he kills his own child and later finds out, what will he do? That he will be a broken father, nothing else. I'm afraid this is the only solution we have left for him. Both of them. Otherwise, our home will be destroyed. I can't believe you're saying this, Jiraiya. Wasn't he your friend? He never was. He was just a rival. A rival that I need to take out. Jiraiya thought to himself. Yes, he was a friend. He said this to Hiruzen. But now that I see it, I'm afraid he has fallen way too much corrupt and needs to be stopped. And this is the only solution that I have for that. I wish there was any other. Alright, Jiraiya. Unfortunately for them, Orochimaru's spy Kabuto Yakushi has heard everything of this. As right now we see, Orochimaru on the other side has concluded that his stand was now left with shock and tears. My son. Konoha will pay for this! He yelled out while slamming his fist down with pure fury. But right now, more than ever, he needed to meet his son, so arrived with Kabuto at the location. After opening the door, both of them went inside. So, you to do this test, father? As Orochimaru moved forward towards Naruto and gave him a hug. Son, I'm sorry. I left you behind for all this time. It's alright. I was told by, the Biju that, this happened. And both of us were betrayed by Konoha, have been harmed and abused. But we can't leave right now. I have something to deal with. Deal with what? Or who? Danzo. He made my life living hell. Or at least tried to think that he did. I need to take care of him. And I need to take care of my sensei. It seems that we have our goals, father. Once they're accomplished, we will leave. And you're Kabuto, right? Yes, I have been Orochimaru-sama's, apprentice for quite a long time. I see. It's good to see and finally meet you, Kabuto. Well, there's one thing that I would like for him to do while all of this is happening. And do tell what it is. I know where the stash of, Danzo is, where he keeps the money as well as the scrolls. From all the missions we do, and steal. I see. It even has the Raijin sword of the second Hokage. Oh, interesting. And a lot of Uchiha eyes. As that is when we see Danzo smirk. Orochimaru smirk. Good. Kabuto can go alongside your team to collect that while we form a plan. I already have one, son. As how we see the final part of the exams begin, and in that, one by one, all of the matches went down, and finally the final match arrived and Konoha Crush began. But this time, the only difference was instead of Naruto fighting for Konoha, he was fighting alongside his father. And so, Naruto and Orochimaru began to cause havoc and destruction everywhere. You wanted to meet the Biju, right? Here you go! Your lovely Biju is here you wanted to meet. Naruto said, transforming into the Biju, and so caused havoc and destruction everywhere. Instead of One-Tails being the only one, now Nine-Tails and One-Tails themselves, while having perfect Jinchurikis, was causing havoc and destruction everywhere. And even the Seal Masters knew they couldn't do anything now. Damn it! What is happening? As now we see, Naruto had a goal and a motive, so he appeared where the root Anbu was and caused a Bijudama to explode the whole Hokage monument as well as the Hokage building, alongside all of the buildings nearby, and the hole was digged up. Naruto brought Kurama's mouth downwards and used the Bijudama again to eradicate each and every living organism, down to microscopic level, that was hidden inside the root base. Every part of them was eradicated. In the meanwhile, Kabuto has taken the liberty of cleaning out the vaults of Konoha. Naruto wanted to leave Konoha crippled so much that it was like a big fuck you to them. And that is what he was able to achieve. Because after the Konoha Crush was done, Konoha really was crushed. The third Hokage was dead. Jiraiya was crippled to the point where he was on wheelchair now. The elders were dead alongside the root Anbus. The Anbu numbers have been decreased alongside the shinobis and the others. Many of the Genins such as Sasuke, Sakura and the others have died. and all of them blamed Naruto in the end. Naruto and Orochimaru. And that is when it was revealed that, well, Naruto was able to discover who his father was, and he wanted revenge on the village. And at that moment, Daimyo issued an international warrant throughout the whole elemental nation for their capture. But what they did not knew was Suna was still under their control. So Suna went to the war of land with the land of fire. And so, thanks to their land's daimyo, the land of fire was defeated since they didn't have any Konoha backing them up since it was crippled. And so, the land of fire alongside Konoha's population was kicked out of there, and Suna was able to take over there alongside with Otogakure. And soon Otogakure took over both of them. As now we see Orochimaru and Naruto were quite happy. Son, there's one thing I am still worried about. What might that be, father? The Akatsuki, the organization I joined in after I left. It seems that their target might be you as well, son, and I worry about that. They're quite strong individuals. You don't need to worry about that, father. Because our experiment that we have conducted is more than enough for us to deal with them and the likes of them. Yes, Naruto and Orochimaru, two geniuses' mind come together, were able to make artificial Rinnegan, with the Uchiha Sharingas that they were able to locate. And since they had four, they implanted into both of their eyes. And soon after they were implanted, Naruto and Orochimaru began to test them out and discovered that they were able and capable to do much more than the original Rinnegan, since they were artificial. They were capable of doing a full Susanoo, which was complete dark due to their hearts being corrupted. And not only that, they also held destructive powers and could literally destroy time-space itself if they wanted to. As now we see, after that, since Ota became powerful, Eva in her all arrogance decided to, with the help of Akatsuki and the other minor villages, attack, and they too were defeated. All in the meantime, Jiraiya was witnessing this, that Konoha, after Konoha's Crush was done, everything was falling into the both child and father's hand, and he was enraged. He wanted something to be done about that, and so he brought Tsunade and began to form a rebellion. And soon many of those who were angry after their loss of home joined, and soon they formed an army of their own. And unfortunately for them, even that couldn't save them, because Naruto and Orochimaru, they laughed at their faces and showed them the real power of technology, science, and chakra combined. Chakra cannons, with single to blast all of their forces, were depleted down to only mere hundreds, as Jiraiya was seething, but Naruto, with using a chakra bullet, pierced straight through his skull and killed him. Before he could perish, Naruto, all he could see was Naruto and Orochimaru's sinister smirking laugh, the last laugh. Even after all he did, in the end both of them were the ones having the last and final laugh. And soon after that, only Kumo and Kiri were the most logical enough alongside their daimyos to not mess with them. As for the rest of the elemental nation, they were destroyed and their territories were taken over by Otogakure. As Kabuto was left in charge to deal with the other affairs, and Orochimaru and Naruto, they were declared as the royalties of the whole land. And yet, this was still the beginning of their endeavors, and they were gonna go far and far ahead. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it was quite weird one. It could have been a lot of action-packed one, but I, wanted to do something different with each of my stories, so that is why I took this route. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel, and do leave in your suggestions in the comment section. And guys, please make any one of you can make a Discord and give me the link so I can join. I don't know how to use Discord, but yeah, I think it would be best if I joined someone, someone from our subscriber group makes a Discord so that we all can join that. In this way, we'll be able to communicate still, and not only that, we'll be able to make reaction videos on anime memes, mainly Naruto memes. I heard they're quite good. I have watched a few of them, but yeah, not so much. Anyways, this is it for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Peace.